This apartment is not very big, but it's also not tiny. It's a decent size for one person. And I'm always surprised at how much work it takes to truly clean it. Even with just one person living in here, I guess it's New York City, with the dirt that comes in through the windows. A few times a year I go through like a thorough cleaning, taking out even the window screens and washing them in the tub and washing the windows and washing the curtains. That's my sort of deep cleaning that I do to the apartment. And it feels great after that's done. But in between those deep cleans, and aside from general cleaning, like washing the floors, washing the toilet, scrubbing the tub, there are some things that I do to just keep my apartment tidy. And they are things that I've developed over the years that I treat as rules for myself. Now, the great thing about rules is that you can break them. No one's the boss of me. I do what I want to do. So I like the rules, and I like having the rules in place. And you know, if I'm tired, if I just don't feel like it, I break the rules. So I'm going to share with you these 5 rules that I've implemented on my own routine, and they have really helped me keep this place fairly tidy in general. Most days when I walk around in the apartment, I'm really pleased with how it just doesn't feel messy. And they are 5 things that I feel like everyone can apply to their living situation, even if they have kids. And hopefully it will make a difference in your life, because it has made a huge difference in my life. The first thing, number 1, my first rule of keeping my place tidy is making my bed. This is something that's non-negotiable. I get up in the morning and I let the bed air out for about 20 minutes while I do yoga or meditate or do other things. And then when the sheets have cooled down, because if you are in your bed and you come back even 5 minutes later and you tuck your hand in between the sheets where your feet were, very often you'll feel that it's still warm. In my bed, it's definitely the case, because everything that my bed is made of is natural fibers, and they're all fibers that insulate. So the mattress is horsehair, the mattress has cotton ducking on it, there's a feather duvet, and all of that sort of holds in warmth while still breathing. So opening everything up, letting it air out, and then later making the bed has really that's my routine. And your bed is like a big building block to your life. It takes up a lot of physical space, but it's also something that you're seeing constantly when you're in your bedroom or you're in your living space. So just taking the 2 or 3 minutes to make it and make it properly keeps the place looking tidy. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, nothing on the floor. I have to admit that this is a recently implemented rule. I kind of heard in my head, and then I just started doing it, and then I made it an official rule. For 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many years of living in this apartment, when I had first moved in, the space under the bed had stuff. Now, all the stuff was hidden in baskets and big containers that looked nice, but there was no space under the bed. That was all occupied by storage. And there was a moment in my life where I realized I want to see the space under the bed. I think that walking by and just seeing all that space will give me peace of mind. So it was after reading this book, which I recommend that everybody read this book. I'm like a drug pusher with this. I feel like it truly is life-changing, the life-changing magic of tidying up. Don't watch the Netflix show, don't listen to the audiobook. You have to actually read the whole book. That's non-negotiable, like the way that you consume this. I think it was after this that I cleared out under the bed, and I've never gone back. That led to this practice of nothing on the floor. What does that mean? It means that when I have something like my tote bag, like I've come back from being outside, I generally put it on the floor. And for a long while, that's where it kind of lived. It just lived on the floor. Things that where there wasn't space for them elsewhere, kind of lived on the floor. Same with packages. A package would arrive, I bring it into my apartment. Where does it go? It doesn't go on the table. It goes on the floor. And then for a few days, if I don't put the stuff away, it lives on the floor and it's there. But after I implemented this rule of nothing on the floor, it meant that I kind of started treating the floor like it was on fire. Like I'd go to put something down and it was like, nope, can't go on the floor. Not allowed to go on the floor. And in my bedroom, what that means is everything gets put away or hung up. I have this peg rail that I installed on my wall, and there are these shaker pegs on the rail, and I just hang things from there. And sometimes, like right now, it's extremely cluttered. There are a lot of things hanging on there. There's a couple of gifts that need to be given to people, my bags, my knitting in progress. But I'm sharing this because when you don't have an alternative in the moment, when you haven't figured out where something's supposed to live or something's in transition, an object, in my life, I hang it up. It makes such a huge difference to not have it on the floor. The spaces just look so much tidier when nothing's occupying the floor that really shouldn't be there. It's furniture, rugs, my bike, and that's all. And then clear space. That's rule number 2. Rule number 3 is I put my clothes away. Clothes are a major source of contributing to the untidy look of a space. Many people have too many clothes. I was very guilty of this until I read this book. And now I don't have a lot of clothes. And that makes a big difference. When you're not drowning in clothes, it makes it easier to put clothes away. So I just have this as a real rule. Clothes do not ever in my apartment go on chairs or on furniture. I don't take them off and I don't put them down. I used to, because it contributes to the space looking untidy. Clothes get hung up. If something has been worn and it's not dirty and I can wear it again, I will either put it on a hanger and just put it on a doorknob even, or I have a little space in another closet with another peg rail where I'll hang things up that are going to be worn later. And then throughout the day, I have indoor clothes and outdoor clothes. If I'm going out and I'm going to change into my outdoor clothes, I will go to that closet, take my clothes off and change them, and then use that space, which gets hidden, as the place for clothes that are in this in-between zone of not being fresh and clean from the closet, but not being so dirty that they're in the laundry bin. So really for me, there are only 3 places for clothes. The inside of the closet, the laundry bin, or hanging on a hanger in the space waiting to be reworn. Which leads me to rule number 4. Rule number 4 is that every single object that is in your life should have a home. If everything has a home and everything has a designated space, it makes it much easier to keep things tidy, because you can put things back where they belong because you figured out a place where they belong. And that is the case for every single object that I have. Like when I'm looking at things just even around me, I know, although that these are out right now, where they're going to go. Everything. This little AirPod case lives in that closet above some art supplies. Like I found a home for it. It gets put away. It's not just living out, especially something that gets used a lot. Just because it's used a lot, this is kind of a key thing here. Just because something is used a lot, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't have a home in your life. Like a resting place is how I see it. Our resting place is our bed, but every object should have a final resting place, like where it should end up if you were to put it away. So for example, these are often sitting out, admittedly, on a table because I'm using them all day. But if I was having a dinner party and people were coming over, I would not leave these out. I want the peace of mind of knowing that everything that I'm not using is getting put away so that there are clear surfaces everywhere. Now, if I didn't have a designated place to put this, I would be thinking, oh, where am I going to stick this? Ooh, let me just stick this in a tote bag, which I have done before. But when it has a home, you know where it's going to go. So part of owning things, owning objects, and caring for them, I believe, when you bring them into your home, is giving them a space to live. Every single thing, even a pair of scissors. Like, if I need a pair of scissors, I know where I need to go because scissors live in these scissors, stationary scissors, live in this drawer. I have kitchen scissors that live in a specific place in the kitchen. And it makes a huge difference. It makes tidying up so much easier. Which leads me to my last rule, since I mentioned the kitchen. My last rule of tidying is do the dishes. The dishes get done every night. Like, I don't leave dishes in the sink overnight. And ideally, when I'm good, I just do my dishes right away, always. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. I eat what I'm eating, wash the dishes, allow them to drip dry, or dry them with a towel and put them away. So that, during the day, sometimes I vacillate between being good and being not so good, where I'm in a rush and I'll put the dish in the sink and I'll come back to it later. But my genuine rule is that I don't go to bed with dishes in the sink, and this is kind of a mental thing that I stick to, just knowing that at the end of the night, all of the dishes have been washed and put away, and that, or just left to drip dry, and then I'm going to put them away in the morning. It allows me to go to bed and to know that everything has kind of been done, that everything has been finished for the day, and dishes in the sink would feel like something is unfinished. And I view dishwashing as kind of a meditative process. I don't have a dishwasher. Most of the things that I use to eat with are old, like old dishes and real silver flatware from 200 years ago, so that stuff can't go in the dishwasher. And it means that I'm touching and looking at these things as I'm washing them, and that's kind of a pleasure. Who's shouting in the street? Children. I see a child running home from school. Noisy children. Anyways, as I was saying, doing the dishes, that's rule number 5. Every night, all the dishes are done. Those are my 5 rules of how I keep my little home tidy. If you can glean anything from my routine that you can apply to your routine, you're welcome. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.